Hello. It's time for the January Basho and all of my bolder predictions. If we have a Basho. Hopeful Soul Throw!
Hagaki-Yoi! Throw the salt, get in the ring. Welcome to the Dohyo!
Hello and welcome back to the Dohyo here on Mr. J-Wag's channel. It is time for the bolder predictions for the Hatsu Basho. If we have one. Of course, the big news this week is that there's been another huge outbreak of COVID in the sumo community. Wakataka Kage and a lot of people in his heya have fallen ill. One of the Gyoji from Minato Beya, and of course, Hakuho has fallen ill of COVID. This is, of course, horrible news for the sumo community, and we are sending out just love and care to everyone affected by it, and we hope everyone makes a full, quick, speedy recovery. But before we get into our bold and bolder predictions, we have our very first installment of Hagaki-Yoi, where I'm responding to you in the comments and the questions you may have about sumo. So if you have any questions about me, about sumo, about anything you want to talk to me about, hit me up in the comments with a question, and you may be featured on the next Hagaki-Yoi. The first question isn't like a formal question, but it's something I have noticed in the comments, sort of like, hey, do you know you resemble Jack Black? Yes. Long story short, I am an actor-musician. The comparison has been made, and in fact, I was in the Chicago premiere of the musical version of High Fidelity as the Jack Black character, and I was in the original Broadway cast of School of Rock the Musical, understudying for the Jack Black character. So yes, I am very aware of it. It's not something I've ever gone out of my way to cultivate. We just happen to have similar face, similar voice. We're both really good looking. We both like guitar, and we both have opinions on rock and what rocking is and should be. So yeah. I think in a huge world like this, everyone's gonna look like someone. So, all right, I'll take it. This has been Hagaki-Yoi. So remember a couple basho back, and I was talking about one of my favorite television shows, the very underrated historical documentary, Game of Thrones. And I said Game of Thrones has chess piece episodes, then it has sort of like, you were who? Those sorts of episodes. And it seems we're like approaching a real like hard home moment for a lot of people in the Upper Sanyaku. First of all, as we said, Hakuho had received a warning before this basho. Now he's out with COVID. Now the precedent they've said is that that doesn't affect your ranking, so hopefully Hakuho is going to be cool with the YDC for another tournament, so we'll see about that. Kakuryu has been very lucky on the COVID front. We don't know how he's feeling on the injury front yet. We don't yet know if he's going to be participating. You have to think after getting a warning from the YDC that's going to mean something, and I know we've talked before about how Kiseno Sato missed 8 in a row, but Kakuryu has gone Kyujo more than double that amount of time since he has been a Yokozuna. Kiseno Sato, remember, didn't miss a match for 15 straight years before becoming a Yokozuna. Kakuryu has had a few Kyujo under his belt. He has been Kyujo in over 40% of his basho at Yokozuna. So this is sort of a lifetime achievement warning from the YDC, it feels. So my first prediction, this will be Kakuryu's final tournament. I don't think he's going to finish all 15 days. It would be awesome if he did, but I think this is going to be his last big hurrah. This leads me into my next prediction. There are going to be multiple kinboshi against Kakuryu. And my bolder prediction, Hokuto Fuji and Kota Shoho are going to get them. I mean, there might be more, but if there are only 2, those are the 2. So let's pop down to the Sekiwake level, talk about Terunofuji. Now, Terunofuji, by my math, is 11 wins away from making Ozeki. I'm going to say 11 wins because that's how many wins it took for Asanoyama and Shodai. I do not think this is going to happen. I think that the last tournament will have taken a lot out of him. I think that everyone in this tournament is going to be very, very motivated, and I think a lot of people in the top of the division have now had a few tries against him. They know what works. They know what doesn't work. Asanoyama, going through him doesn't work. And that, compounded with the obvious problem of his always very precarious health. I think we are primed for another Terunofuji, hashtag 8 and out. So no Ozeki yet, but I think he'll maintain the Kachikoshi and make Ozeki later in the year. Shodai, Sadly, I do not think Shodai is going to get Kachikoshi. I think he is going to fall out of the Ozeki rank, down to sort of that Ozeki Wake rank that requires 10 wins to get back up. The reason I'm saying that, it's an ankle injury he's suffering from right now, and his sumo is primarily based on his well-timed tachi and his ability to have insane cartoon balance right up on the bales. Having an ankle injury just makes neither of those things possible. And we're going to talk about Asanoyama in a second, but a shoulder injury is different than an ankle injury. It's just a matter of body chain. When you're talking about a sport that depends on power, the closer your injury is to the ground, the greater it causes a problem throughout the rest of your body. Now, if you're a 350-pound man and you're pushing up a 450-pound man, think of the force that's being put on that one ankle. It's closest to the ground. That's where you're getting all your power from. If your wrist is hurt, then you're only going to be hurt from here on up, delivering this much force to your opponent. If you're hurt, say, on your shoulder, like Asanoyama, perhaps you can fight more with one arm. Perhaps you can adjust your technique so this arm takes a little bit less abuse and it's not the focal point of your sumo as much. I know the right shoulder is important to Asanoyama, but he's wrestled left side in college, so perhaps he'll be able to make the switch. Which brings me to my next very happy prediction. Asanoyama is going to clear Kadoban and get the June yusho. I think Asanoyama spent sort of a year in the wilderness in 2020. Didn't we all? I think Asanoyama has regained his focus. Hopefully, he has been able to work through the most recent shoulder injury and get back to the technique that made him an Ozeki. Time for my three-way sumo parlay. The three-way parlay is, who is going to feel the wrath of the Sanyaku the most? Like I said, this is a very consequential basho for a lot of the Sanyaku, and I have a feeling they're going to be taking it out on the upper Maegashira. Specifically, I think that Takara Fuji, Tochi Noshin, and Onosho are all going to get Makekoshi. Alright, now we're down to the yusho pick. I had down to 2 wrestlers, and, well, COVID made it easy for me. I think this one goes to Takakeisho. Yes, I think we are going to break the trend where January is for first-time winners. I think Takakeisho is going to seize this moment. I do not think he is going to get 14 wins. I think he is going to get 13 wins because I just feel that Takakeisho has physical limits and he's probably going to bite some clay at least twice. Whether or not that's going to make him Yokozuna worthy obviously isn't up to me, but as we just learned in the Tamino Umi episode, people have been made Yokozuna without a true Yokozuna run before and gone on to spectacular Yokozuna careers. Hakuho's not going to show up. I don't think Hakuryu's going to make it all the way to the last weekend. If the Yokozuna don't show up anymore, are they still Yokozuna really? Takakeisho can only beat the people they put in front of him, and I think he's going to beat a lot of them and lift his 3rd cup and hopefully his belt. Thanks for coming on back to the Dohyo. Thank you so much to those of you who checked out Sarah and the Seed. It's on a separate channel. If you're interested, it'll be linked below. We are going to have some exciting new episodes coming back. We are going to have more Shadow of Hakuho, and of course, we're going to be talking all about this basho. So everyone, stay safe, stay strong, stay healthy, and I will see you next time on the Dohyo.